I think that they're doing a really big disservice to him, and I've said this before, where they want us to remember his title reign as something as impressive and monumental and unheard of and all of this, but then the fact that you're keeping him off TV, having him take weeks, if not months off at a time, and then we're supposed to still be impressed with his title reign. Like, what are you? Why? Why would we be impressed with someone who's sitting on the couch racking up the days to
Yeah.
add to his reign that you're then going to spew when he comes back on TV? And then we're supposed to be like, all hail Roman Reigns. It's like, I could be a good champion too if you gave me the title and I sat at home.
I just
Like,
don't get it. And the only thing I can really think of is that they want to elevate the other talent and they don't need to elevate Roman Reigns anymore. Like, who else are you going to defend his title against? Well, the only real opponent right now would be LA Knight because of how hot he is, and you need to
right.
put him in some direction. And it just, I don't understand why or how he can keep going with this. You know,
Well, and
I
that's
just
the thing. If you
yeah.
don't need him on TV, then why does he have the championship? Like, you're trying to hit a marker in his reign, which okay, that's fine, but like the whole point of having the title is to either elevate yourself, elevate the company because you have the title, or elevate your opponent. If you're not even doing any of that, like you're not even around to do any of that, or there's nothing that makes sense for you to do, then why are you still champion? Like,
Yeah.
I get it. We say Roman is like the final boss. So he's supposed to be kind of untouchable or unbeatable. He's supposed to be kind of this like almost like imaginary figure that you feel like, you can't ever reach. And if you do, like, you're not going to beat him. Okay. But like, it would be great if we actually saw people trying to beat him more on a consistent basis instead of being like, oh, well, there's no one for him to face. Like, what do you mean? You can create somebody good enough to face him, or even in the time, create a match that makes someone the number one contender. At least then we kind of have like a placeholder to look forward to be like, okay, we're going to do a fatal 5-way the way, they're doing it with Rhea at Crown Jewel.
Mhm.
Make a fatal 5-way, whoever is the next number one contender for the undisputed title. Then it
Yeah.
would make sense that Roman's not there. Like, I don't know. I just think there's ways that they can do it. They just don't want to. They're content with what they're doing with him right now, and I feel like that's unfair to the fans, and in a way, it's unfair to Roman.
They're making him this godly figure, and I get that element, but he could be a godly figure and still be on TV. Even if he's
Well,
not going to defend the title, at least have him be in these Bloodline backstage segments, or have him just chill backstage in the Bloodline headquarters with Paul Heyman and Solo, and just do backstage stuff to continue and forward the Bloodline story. That's what
well,
fans want. That's all I care
yeah.
about. Just I don't care about the title defenses and whatnot like that. I'm kind of over with because I see the bigger picture. But the bigger picture should include Roman Reigns being on television and not just Paul Heyman going call Roman Reigns. Like,
Well,
it's
and
funny and it's a thing, but
we haven't seen much between him and Jimmy since Jay left, and Jimmy has become this
yeah.
new. We haven't seen
Mm,
that either, which is
mm,
crazy.
mm.
But then the other part that I would say is also like becoming more problematic for people, and I think that in hindsight it's going to be a bad part when people remember his reign, is that we're supposed to believe he's this dominant guy, but I don't know the last time he won a match that didn't involve someone's interference on his behalf. You
And
get
that's a
the
hero.
fact
Yeah.
that he's a heel, that's going to happen, but the fact that it's happening in every single match, that's a problem.
Mm.
Because then it's like, how am I supposed to believe that he can't be beaten when he literally gets help every single time? Like, if it happens every now and then, that's fine, because I love heels, so
We
I
know
get
you
it.
do.
It's
Yeah.
part of the story for them. But then, like, how are you supposed to be unbeatable if you always have to get somebody to make sure you're not beaten? That I'm just seeing a lot of people have an issue with that recently too, and I'm like, I don't blame you, because then it is getting to that point where it's like, why should anyone fear you? Like,
They're fearing the bloodline. They're not fearing Roman
right.
Reigns.
Right. I mean, and that's the same thing with Cody. Like, why do we think Cody feels he can beat Roman? Because if the second that there's the demise of the rest of the bloodline, he's got Roman one-on-one. He knows he can beat him because
Yes,
then he
he's
doesn't
sold.
have
Yeah,
his minions coming to save him.
exactly.
So I don't know. It's not the way I would have made things, and I feel like a lot of it had to do with Vince McMahon. But I'm still feeling like, I mean, I get that Triple H was kind of put in an awkward position when he took over creative because obviously it was already like what 2-3 years into Roman's title reign, but I still feel like he hasn't made the situation any better either.
Yeah, I think he's still trying to figure it out for sure.
Yeah, but it's been a year and a half almost of him trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
So
it takes some time.